Okay, thank you.
Well, maybe not. Well, it's saying it's connected, but I don't see a video.
Let's see, are all these people on the agenda, or do I need to add some of them? The quilt people are here, so they've got a question. They're not, so I'll add them.
I don't know if we're videoing or not, but there it goes.
One, two, three, four, five, six.
Here are two examples, and I wrote on the back, so that we know which is which. This is what I typically use, this one is for that. It's a sticker, but maybe I don't need those, if you don't care about that. This is something else to look at, and it is a little more pliable, but see, it's 4-inch print. And, yeah, yeah, I've written on the back. But you'll just peel that off. But this, it, I mean, 100% cotton.
It's 5 o'clock, and I'm going to call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Member Bailey, Chair Brown,
Here.
Member Hunter, Member Johnson, Member McPherson, Member Page,
Here.
Secretary Sims,
Here.
Vice Chair Templeton.
Okay, we've got a quorum. Approval of the minutes. Have you looked over those and any additions or deletions that need to be added to the minutes?
Make
Here.
a motion, we accept them.
Hearing none, I have a motion to accept. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it, and the minutes are approved. At this time in our meeting, we set aside a time for anyone who wishes to come before us with the public. We'd give you probably as much as you need, but if you've got something that's not on the agenda, if you'd like to come up and give us your name and address, we'll listen to you now. Anybody in the audience? Seeing none, update on the budget is the next item. We've got a $5,000 tentative budget set, and we have started spending money out of it. And the shirts have come in. We've ordered shirts and all kind of good stuff, I guess, have we, Sonny? And selling them, and got some money coming back in. And we're going to talk tomorrow night at the council meeting what happens to that money. So we'll get some directions from our budget director about whether it if it comes back in, like the shirt sales and stuff. How many shirts have you sold, Sonny?
32, $20.
32. They look good. He had them at the festival. And then the banners have come in.
He's got one.
On the floor down front.
So we'll look at it. I noticed one at Southwest Point when I was out there this weekend, so looks good. Anybody have any other questions about the budget? Next item 6, discussion of the birthday cake prices and that sort of thing. Is that our secretary?
I spoke with Angie. She can, and I put the, I think in your packet of how much the sheet cakes would be and the cupcakes that you discussed. One thing, she can't put the logo on there. It would be a laminated something or another on top of the cake. So I don't know if you all want to go for that or try to find something. She just don't have the capability to do that right now.
Is that a yes or a no, or don't want nothing on the cake?
More no laminated.
Yeah, that's what she put in her email.
So it'd just be a little plaque of a thing just sitting on
It
it.
says the logo would be printed and laminated as an image on top of the icing.
Sometimes they mean it's an edible type.
It might be. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm not a baker by any means. Well, it says I do not have the capability to print an edible image yet.
Okay.
So back up and punt and maybe talk to
So
somebody
like
else. I'm not sure.
Walmart and Food City people, they've got where they can put your picture on it. That's what we were talking about doing
Right. So I can get some other estimates if you all want me to. It's up
what do
to
y'all want to do?
Does it necessarily have to be an edible image? I mean, not laminated, just sort of like laying on top of the icing, but can it be something else? Maybe like, for lack of a better description in this discussion, something like a similar in style, like a trophy with a logo on it that sort of just sticks in the top of the cake.
You could probably get a cake topper of some kind to put it in there, have
Yeah,
like a plain cake.
I think there's a lot of options we can still explore.
Okay. So it sounds like we'll push that down to the next meeting. Anybody have any heartache with that? Next item is update on status of the reenactment at the fort. Jack?
Not much at this moment. A lot of things going on, but getting reenactors is proving to be very difficult. They all seem interested, but will not commit. That's about as much as I can tell you right now.
Okay.
Anybody got any questions for me on that?
Just keep trying.
Yeah, I will. You can bank on that.
And Robert's not here. This must be the night that he has his board meeting, maybe. Anyone have a report for Robert about reenactment positions, what that means? Needed filled by volunteers?
He was
So that
going to
means
get
he
us a
wants
list.
Kelly to dress up
That's not happening.
as Madam Kingston.
He was going to get a list together, but I haven't heard anything. So
Now, he told me once before that he still has at the old courthouse some of the old costumes, the reenactment costumes that people in the city used to wear. And I always bring up Bobby Collier always wore one with a funny little hat. He said, "Oh, I've got those. Said, those belong to the Heritage Commission, and they just used them. I didn't know that, but we need to check with him, see what all he's got. And you know, Sonny will need to dress up, and Jack will dress up, and Sandy will dress up. Carla, you dress up too.
I don't think so.
All right, well, maybe he'll be here right here in a minute. Next item is update on the old-timey, the vintage baseball. And I'm glad to have with me a representative, if you want to come up. Sonny Clare, he's one of the participants in one of them, and he finally made my trick down to, I got a hold of somebody that could come and talk to us. And Sonny, as I told you on the back and forth with our messaging, is that Kingston is having their 225th birthday, and we're putting all kinds of stuff together for the entire month of October. And what we'd like to do is have two of your teams, or as many as wanted to come and participate and have a game or two out at our old historic fort that we're celebrating.
So that's a misunderstanding on my part. I thought we were just looking at one game. I could reach out to the whole league.
I mean, you can,
because, well,
one
we've only
game
got-
for sure. If you give us one game, we're happy. We really love you if you got more than that.
Unfortunately, we're down to one team in Knoxville this year. We had not enough teams sign up to have enough players. But we do have teams in Nashville and Chattanooga, so what I'll do is I'll reach out and maybe we can put together a couple of games. I'll see how many people are interested in it. We haven't started the season yet, so
Yeah.
I haven't really had a chance to sit down and talk. Do you have a date, or is it just open to?
Well, I'm assuming y'all still play on Saturdays and Sundays.
That's correct.
And if I go back over here to my little calendar, if I can get to it, that's in October. So our birthday is actually on the 23rd. We're doing stuff all that month. We've got a loaded week starting on Sunday the 20th through the 26th. You know, if you have trouble, we were going to do yours the 19th and the 20th, weren't we? Or did we move
Originally, we were gonna do the 18th night, or 19th, 20th, but that was a
ball game or something?
UT football game weekend. So we chose the 25th, 26th, 27th.
We may do away with UT football and fire everybody between now and then, like they did today. Whew. But anyway, what day would you all think so that he can go back You want to shoot for a Saturday or a Sunday, or what do you think?
But Friday night might work. I mean, I don't know if the field has lights or not.
It does not.
Okay.
And we'll go out there, see if you got time, we'll run out there and I'll show you everything that we've got.
Saturday preferable. We could do a Sunday afternoon.
Okay. So if we had a Saturday, we're talking about the 26th, and that's the same day as we're doing everything else. But I don't know if that's not a bad thing, to where we have so much going on that if you don't like this, you can go to this, and then you go to that. And so, what do y'all think? Before he goes back and just advise us. Sounds like we've got him on the hook.
Yeah.
Well, so this time last year, we played an exhibition game at Cage Cove, so it's not like we won't have the ability to get some players there. So I don't think it'll be a problem, I just don't have firm people yet. We're going all the way up to Gettysburg and playing in the game in July, so I don't think
Yeah.
folks will have a little trouble driving to Kingston.
Yeah. I used to be in that, and we played at the Hermitage one time and just fell right in as part of the reenactment that they were having. Went to Georgia and played one time, but we actually had a vintage baseball team in Roane County. Won the championship one year.
Was the Tennessee Association of Vintage Baseball, or
Yeah.
how long ago was that?
Back in 1803.
That's before they were playing the rules we were playing.
Yeah. No, that was probably 7 or 8 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I know some reenactors, they play baseball with me. If I can get with you and give you
Yeah,
their-
please.
Yeah, Jack is in charge of our fort out here, and you'll see what all we got when we go out there.
Give me your name.
Mr. Chairman, I think we ought to take him whenever we could get him, whatever day.
Sir?
I think we ought to take the teams, the
Whenever they
game
can
whenever
come.
they're,
Yeah.
you've given them the area to work in, and I think we should
Yeah.
take them whenever they can get here.
Okay. So the Knoxville team is the only one that's left now?
The machinists, actually, we're the one that, the Holstons only have like 3 or 4 folks left.
Butterbean left?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right, I'll talk to you.
All right, we'll talk some more when we go out to the fort then. Thank you so much.
Honey, I think Mr. Hunter wants to.
Go ahead, Mr. Hunter.
I said the street fest is usually on Route 4.
Yeah. I even thought about having some kind of little cookout or something out there to kind of, if I can get somebody to donate everything and feed these guys while we got them out there. Maybe set up a food truck for everybody else or do something.
Sausage truck.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so we'll continue that on, and then we'll report more at our next meeting after we go out and look at the field and that kind of stuff. Next item on the agenda is discussion of the 4th of July parade, time, route, that sort of thing. Who's in charge of that?
I checked with Washington.
Looks like you two are in charge of that.
Well, I checked with Washington, he was cool with it. He's
Okay.
got the time in there, I think it was 2 to 3
On the
before.
on the 4th, and then we're going to have, if we've got our dress up people, we're going to have dress up, and
Be a short route.
maybe the city or this committee / city have a float. I can remember that we got one of Tim's trailers out at the and we put the cannon on it and secured it and rode it through town and had everybody on the side and that sort of thing. So
You need to give me a lot of warning about that cannon.
it looks good.
Well, it looks good. Getting it back out of that building's a chore. We have to take it apart.
And then we were going to talk to the school to check on, see when their parade is too. I don't know if that coincides with Coach Pankey's and homecoming or.
Right now, tentative homecoming is September the 20th.
Okay.
Tentative.
So that we're back to a 4th of July thing then. But I'm assuming we've got other 4th of July festivities going on too.
That'd be car races. Be the
Car
one.
shows and fireworks and what day's the 4th of July on?
Thursday.
Thursday this year.
I think the car show will be that weekend before.
Okay. All right. Anybody got anything else about that? Judges for the school competitions. Whose idea was that, Nancy?
It wasn't my idea.
Yeah, you come on, we'll do you now.
We talked about in our previous meeting is about recruiting, former retired teachers, and I've got a list. I have not asked them, but that's one of the things, and the teachers at the school are fine with that, our teams at the school.
I think we are overwhelmed with, I think that is wonderful, speaking from my part, because I don't want anything to do with it.
They meet every 2 months at the community center, they meet this Friday.
And so a representative who comes to that is gonna be, I think, our spokesperson about that, I think, so that's good.
So we're good with them doing the competition judging? Just
So-
carry on, do good things.
So what will happen is, kind of what we're thinking at this point is Kings Elementary poster contest. I think Mr. Neal suggested this is a great idea, and the teachers were all about this, is when students do their poster, they will have a time frame where they will put it outside the classroom or, and whoever our judging team is for the posters, we'll make an appointment with Mr. Thompson, and Mr. Thompson will actually kind of, or Miss Collins, and we'll kind of escort them around the school, they can do their judging at the appropriate time. And we kind of thought the same thing would happen, in some ways with the essays from middle school, but what's gonna happen is, I think what will happen is the, teachers will funnel the best ones of what they think, maybe the top 5 or 6 to that committee and let them choose, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's great.
Let me ask real quick, on the essays, and posters, it's per grade too, like posters for the first grade, posters for second grade,
So, yes.
or is it for the whole elementary?
So it's per grade, but when we're doing our prizes, it's K2, 3, 4, that kind of thing. So we have made that. For middle school, it's gonna be 6 through 8, just because of the small number.
Okay.
Yes.
I went here last meeting, they had the Kingston Elementary School, they're gonna have 6 winners, and they mentioned the first place, first place, second place, third place, what's the other 3, certificates? Or-
So basically, what we're saying is if you have, maybe it was, I don't have my notes from last month with me, but first place would be first place, second place, third place, but we would have, maybe it was K through 3. I'm not sure, but you have our notes.
There was gonna be 6 total, I
6
think.
total. I don't have it in front of me, but it should be in our notes from last time. Sorry
So
about that.
it's 3 and 3?
Yeah, so basically, what's our notes say, do you know? I didn't bring my notes.
Does that mean it's 175 or 175?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay,
That's
it's
correct,
3 and
yes.
3 then, yes.
Yeah, that is correct, yeah. Sorry, I wasn't prepared for that.
That's cool.
And I don't get your notes, so I'm not sure what's in it, but I'm sure this young lady up right here knows, so I'm gonna point you to her. So, I do wanna give you an update. Mr. Brown, and Sonny and J.R. Best were, gracious hosts, oh, yeah, Carly too, gracious host for, Mrs. Hudson, who is our art teacher at Roane County High School. We secured the space, I believe, Mr. Brown, is that right?
Yes.
And, she's real excited about it, and she has already started her students on thinking about this project. Also, Ellen Daly, she is the senior English teacher. She is the one who's going to be doing a lot of research with her students. I believe she has already talked with Mr. Bailey about securing time to do research for the courthouse for her students, just getting the history of Kingston. However, I had a great question come up. What happens if we have people who want to research outside of the hours? Because I think business hours. So maybe this is a question I should have for Mr. Bailey. Is it possible we could open up on a Saturday or at some point that these students, if it's outside the school day, I don't know. So.
You're talking about at the historic courthouse?
Yes.
Yeah, you'd have to talk with them on that one.
Yeah.
That's,
Miss Daly plans to take her class up there during school hours, but not all students can do all their research during school hours, so.
and it's, I will tell you this, as a member of the board of the Heritage Commission, very limited staff and that ability, and the ability to cater to a classroom of students is gonna be sort of
Yeah.
hard on them.
Yeah, so the question really is if we want them to do research and to write about this, how are they gonna have access to those records? So that's really, and I don't think we have a thought, or Miss Daly has a thought, I just think she just needs to talk with somebody to figure out how to make it happen.
That's gonna be Robert Bailey.
That's great, okay?
If we give him maybe the topics and have him pull them,
Yeah, that'd be great.
and if he would be willing, we could bring the stuff down here.
Oh, that's good, that's good. good, okay, okay.
Possibility.
Plus you can, if you tie them to the state historical or state library, Jerry Larkin is the other paper.
Yes, sir.
We used to always do, because they have that on file. And if you get a member or something, you can bring it up online.
Okay.
Because he had a lot of articles of history about the city.
I know that Miss Daly has, a lot of her research has come from her grandfather, Tom Hickle, things he's collected over the years, but I'm sure that, I know she has, talked with Mr. Daly, there's some things she needs to get from the old courthouse. Couple things, I think, where we are right now, I believe, Mr. Brown, you can expect some invitations to visit some high school classes and talk about this birthday celebration in the city of Kingston, perhaps. Maybe Mr. Neal might want to.
Yeah, there you go.
Too. That'd be great. I know that Miss Daly's gonna be reaching out, and I even think maybe some, like freshmen with Ruth Thompson, just to come and kind of give a history
Okay,
about what's about to
good.
come. That'd be awesome.
Both of us will make ourselves available to whoever.
Thank you. So is it okay if I give them your cell phone numbers to contact you? Is it okay? Perfect. And then, if we could get the logo of this sent to our principals Thompson and Ms. Coram and Ms. Ellen Bailey.
You can give me their emails.
I'll send you. Okay. That's all I have. What questions can I help answer for you? As always, I'm honored to do this, to work with our schools. If I can help you in any way, please let me know.
Just hang on a minute. When we met down at the community center, she was all excited, and that's the high school portion of it that we haven't mentioned a whole lot about. But they are going to, as a class project or as a personal project of some of the members of her senior art class, we put Mr. Jack in charge of that, giving her some photos of something, whatever they deem, and they're actually going to oil paints off of those pictures as part of their project, and we'll have those on display. And then that may be part of the competition for the high school portion. And I met with Jack right after that and gave him the contact, and, we were jawed back and forth. He said he had several that he would go through, but, we thought about the steam plant, we thought about the old courthouse, and we thought about the new courthouse, new city hall, or just whatever, and just sending them a group of photos and letting her pick, show them out there, and then somebody,
Well, and here's an idea that Ms. Hutch and I kicked around. This doesn't have anything to do with this, but we have some incredible, gifted, talented artist students. And so one of the things I'm working on with Ms. Templeton is some silent auction items for our gala in September. And I'm hoping that those students might be willing to let us auction them off for silent auction to benefit the courthouse. So we'll see. That's just an idea. I've not gotten it, but just thoughts.
You may have any questions for Ms. Allen. Good.
We talked about the winners for the elementary and junior, but what prize money did we settle on?
First prize was 100 and certificate.
And a certificate. And we would also acknowledge their certificate. And a question maybe, will the city of Kingston develop those certificates, or do you need us to? Or how do you-
City of Kingston, Mr. Neal is saying would do that.
Perfect. That's
We've got a
great.
person who's really good at that.
Good. Is that you? Is that you? Anyway, call me, email me, I'm happy to
Okay.
help in any way, but I think we're on target. I'm gonna meet with, Cherokee one more time before the end of school, meet with the elementary, before the end of school, but I think we're on target. We're just waiting for the new year to hurt.
Okay,
But I feel good about it, so.
sounds good.
Thank you.
Nancy and Verlin. You're next, looks like. If y'all remember, these are the quilting ladies.
Well, hopefully through a lot of digging and we possibly have enough photos, we think. And I've been in contact with Sherry Ward, and she has been a wealth of information
Okay.
and pictures to supply me with. So, our next stage is to get them printed and then for us to go through and then select to see how many we need.
Okay.
And we're hoping then that Jack's gonna be able to help us in printing on
with fabric. Once we get that done, then we'll be off and running. But there's not been a lot of progress this month.
The question I have for you on the pictures, are y'all still staying with the 5x7s?
5x7s.
Okay.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's gonna be a huge pool.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Mayor Neal?
One thing I got to report is I've been trying now for about 4 months to get the governor pinned down. I got Senator Yeager's new assistant, and sent him an email on how to send the governor February, maybe January. And so he's gonna follow up and see if we can get that ironed out for sure.
Yeah, because again, you know, guys, that makes a big difference on what we do and what time we do things as far as the schools and that sort of stuff, you know. Again, if the governor comes, I want it to be a big deal, block the streets and let the schools out and the bands, and I can look at some of those old pictures where people, I think Sonny brought it up, where they were up on the balcony speaking and stuff, you know. I just thought that'd be so neat to have that. And then have you worked any more on having the city council meetings and stuff at the?
I've not talked to Robert.
Okay, because we're talking about doing that too during that month.
I said talk to Robert about it and to see. It's been so long since I've been up there, I don't know what it looks like.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
We had a historic zoning meeting up there a couple months ago.
Yeah. Let's go around. Sonny, reports, comments, suggestions?
The only thing I had is I was looking at one of the logo things.
Uh-huh.
And the two questions I had is, one was the one that's basically all gold, it looks like the K, the first letter kind of disappears. And they also, on the second side, it's got the water, it's where it says established, it's not really, it's way down low versus kind of centered. That was it.
So we need to decide something, or is that something you just handle and take care of?
No, I mean, I don't know who contacted them.
This is for the challenge coins. We got one recently from MTAS. They done an anniversary thing.
Okay,
They're really nice looking coins, and I talked to Mayor Neal about it, and this is just a draft. I called the company, and that's the pricing that goes along with it. I didn't know if you all would be interested in getting some of those, and we could sell them or give them to dignitaries or whatever. Just a thought.
when we're doing this, and if we think we may be short of photos, could we make sure anything that we get like that they send us a digital copy of it and give it to these folks? That may be something that you'd put in just like that. You know, I don't know, I think we'll have enough pictures. That led me to believe we didn't have enough for the quilt, but, you know, even if we had that digitized and our logo, and even our new logo, I think it'd be neat to put that new logo on that quilt somewhere too.
I've got that digitized, so I can send them that.
Yeah, that's our hope, is to put the new logo in the center of the quilt.
Yeah.
And then these pictures that we're gonna
Okay.
have printed all around it.
You're talking about that logo, right? That's the new one?
Is that the?
But we've got another
We've
city
got
logo,
another
too.
new one. The city has adopted another one just in the last month. I wouldn't want that to be the centerpiece, but I could see where,
Whatever says this is the
Yeah,
25th.
yeah, that should be the center.
That's gonna be the center,
yeah.
We discussed that early on when we started talking quilts, and the center of the quilt was gonna be the 225th celebration logo.
Yeah. But
That
since,
is unique, it's gonna be unique to that quilt, and
Yeah.
that quilt's unique to this
Yeah.
one-time event.
yeah, but if we, again, we adopted that other new logo just last month, and that would be something we may be able to put somewhere too. Okay, anything else, Mr. Jack?
The only thing I've got a question, to see if anybody was interested, on that weekend, that we're having the, fall festival downtown. Also, when we're having, we're trying to have the, reenactment festival out there at the fort, do you think it would be suitable to have, in the past, we've had a lady, and I've got her contact information, carriage rides through town, horse-drawn carriage rides. And maybe have horse-drawn carriage rides from the fort to downtown and back and forth. And she could actually charge a ticket price for people to ride. Would that be something that the committee would be interested in? I'm not sure about how we would do routing, cause there's not a good route for a carriage to go other than on the 58th Street, but it's just a thought. I thought I'd throw it out. Or just keep it, just be carriage rides around downtown.
Won't you check on it and get some more information about how much, what time of day, what happens if it rains, and that sort of thing?
I'll get it back next month.
You know, need to be diapered up and all that kind of good stuff. Anything else, sir?
That's it.
Madam Vice Chairman, thank you so much. I was gone last month.
You're very welcome. Appreciate it. When are we gonna start communicating schedule of events on the Facebook page? Cause I would think the first thing we would probably need to communicate would be the parade. And to allow for people to have time to make floats if they wanna do that, or just planning. I would think maybe around the 1st of May that we announce that we're having the 4th of July parade. And Sonny, did you say no registration necessary, just let people, tell them where they need to show up? But I mean, I think communication to allow, you know, if people get excited and they wanna build a float, that'll take time to do it. And did we decide that the theme for the parade is just red, white, and blue?
We didn't decide, we just decided to put it back on this month's agenda to discuss more, so.
Okay.
We can make, I mean, we can do it like we did Christmas, as far as we can come up with a form, there's no charge, you know, if they wanna, they can show up and we put them in the thing, but if they wanna fill one out ahead of time and give us some information, and that way, you know, a little bit.
So I just think if we're gonna, you know, do the parade, we need to let people know in enough time so they can plan if they're gonna do a float or get, you know, a group of people together or whatever.
And you might check, cause it's in the summer, I don't know if they, cause usually Rome State does our filming for the Christmas, but I don't know if they could do it July or not, I'd have to check.
And is the parade gonna be titled the 225th birthday parade? Not the you know, it's gonna be on the 4th of July, but it's commemorating the 225th birthday. Just thoughts. But I mean, I think we need to at least communicate it on Facebook.
I can
around
do
the
that once I
1st
get to
May.
specifics of what
Right,
you all want,
right.
that's no problem.
Just the thought, I mean, we could put it off to the next meeting, I guess.
And are we gonna do the long route parade or the short route parade?
Short one.
Short one coming up Cumberland, Kentucky, spring.
And line up at the high school.
Just go to Baptist, turn left, and go down to the McDonald's, turn left, that's it.
What time would that be?
2
Look
o'clock,
at
then
two, I
wash
think
and say
Washington
2.
said 2 to 3.
I can take care of the Google Forms for signups or whatever.
Okay.
Just
And I think red, white, and blue sounds good, just to have something down, I don't know. And then,
Mr.
I
Chairman,
noticed
you're-
in the minutes that you talked about, grand marshals and Kingston treasurers and,
It seems to me that the Grand Marshal, that's the place to emphasize the birthday party was with the Grand Marshal. Whatever float car that there is.
And who's gonna pick the grand marshal?
I don't know.
Was it a grand marshal, or were we gonna just have several joint grand marshals of Kingston treasurers, people that are,
Have we got a list of Kingston treasurers?
We do have a list of Kingston treasures. Will you send them to you?
How many do you have?
I think I have like 25, and I think Ellen has about 19 or 20.
Oh, really?
And I'm sure that's probably just touching the surface, I would think.
It's gonna be a long parade.
You know,
You might also consider the council too.
Yeah, you know, the city council recognized the young lady that was 104 with a little deal here. Was that on Rose? Oh, no, it was on Circle, King Circle. And I can't think her name right offhand, but
Sarah Bowles, last name.
yeah.
But you have to realize that parade's between 2 and 3, it's gonna be the hottest part of the day. We don't want anybody to kill
Yeah.
Right.
Are we shooting fireworks that night too?
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of a, you can't have it much later than that on the 4th of July if we're shooting fireworks, because everybody will be blocked in. So suggestions, good point.
I'll start getting food trucks and stuff in, probably starting around 1:30, 2 o'clock, as well as the vendors, and that probably will go on till 3:30, 4 o'clock, give or take, and then the festival opens at 5 to start.
Cause they usually close the road about 4.
Do what?
They usually close the road about 4
Yeah.
up there, and that's gonna be the traffic.
That's the way they'll be flowing, isn't it?
Yep.
So we've got
we'll
to
have
get our
have it
stuff done and get
before
out of
that.
there then.
Makes sense why Chief said 2 to 3. Get that over with, done and out of the area.
You know,
He said Washington's he's the one that approved it, picked the time.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
And
you
I
might
understand
also
that.
remember, you have to, if you're gonna have people coming for the fireworks, and you're gonna have people coming for this, that, or the other, you need to make sure you dovetail these things together, cause otherwise you'll have people who are very interested in the parade come and go home, and, you know,
Yeah.
you'll get that tangled a little, so you need to have,
Yeah.
have it sort of flow.
did any of you see the feature that they had, Channel 10 had on Oliver Springs?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know why we can't contact them. Our deal should be a bigger deal than just showing the candy store. Nothing against Oliver Springs and the candy store. That's great candy, back when I could eat it. But you'd think that they'd want to come down and help a little bit with that
We've
too.
done that in the past.
Well, we mentioned at the last meeting that you would be on live at 5 at 4.
Mayor Neal?
And Mayor Neal's gonna be on,
Yeah.
WDIR.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a unanimous decision.
You know, the more things that you have, the more people come out to, I think. So I'm kind of out in left field, as you all know, that know me very well. You know, I can see for the 4th of July parade, I hope it not like some we've had in the past, where it took 5 minutes, and if you were 5 minutes late, it was over, and you said, "Where's the parade at?" When we plan the parade, am I crazy in thinking that we need riding lawnmowers decorated, and we need little kids' bicycles decorated, and because you're not going to have any floats where we give prizes before, but you know, the more kids that ride their bicycle in this short route, which is good, the more grannies we've got coming filming it, and the more old men riding their John Deere tractor with the flags draped on it, the more wives are going to come and watch. So if we could come up with something outside the box that we're doing during that parade, just to get 10 more people there on the sidewalk. Miss Nancy?
My question would be, I did event planning for about 20 years. My question would be, who's the point person in charge of that parade? Is it Sunny?
I would think that Sunny in the community center with Carly, I would think.
Because my guess is you'll have a lot of people asking questions, what do I do, how do I, and so who's gonna communicate that? Who's your thought?
Carly.
'Cause if we want kids involved, mamas are gonna say, what time does my baby need to be there? What, can I do this, can I do that? So I'm not trying to volunteer you, Sunny, but, just.
And you know, again, it's gonna be election time, so I'm assuming there'll be 20 buggies with, somebody's name on it, and, they'll be competing against each other, and, you know, I don't know if we need to discuss it, whether we charge them a fee, or if we ask like we do in the regular parade to volunteer something, to think about. On politicians, I'd want to limit the number instead of having 20 people. I like it when they walk and give out shirts and all that kind of stuff. I think that because that brings people in. But I would hate to have nothing but, and make it a political event, I guess is where I'm coming from.
Would it help to give categories, like you say, the old men on their John Deere?
Something to think about, yeah.
Yeah, bicycle.
And see, for that 4th of July, you're gonna have not only politicians and people involved in the August election, but you're gonna have a November election too, because those people have already qualified for the November election. So that's gonna bring people in, you know.
You might, if you wanna kill some time after the parade, we used to, after the parade, continue in Kingston, we used to
Watermelon cutting.
give out watermelon at Southwest Point at the pavilion. Get
Yeah.
about 20 watermelons.
Yeah, but if we charge those people anything at all or anybody, not necessarily political people, but anybody, we take that money and put it toward the prize of whatever category they're gonna do.
You may want to consider what you're talking about. The flip side of that, instead of thinking about floats and big things, is the whole parade is nothing but little things.
Yeah. You know, I can see inviting the dog pound to bring some dogs, you know, come and adopt a dog this week. I know it's gonna be hot, but, you know, I'm just thinking of every time we get though, and they wouldn't think about doing it in a Christmas parade or some other time that we get them. Then if we've got anybody that's dressed up, you know, again, we do the dress up deal again.
We used to in the past too, we used to buy like the little flags, the miniature flags, and we get like 100 or 200 and pass them out.
Yeah.
Before the parade.
Yeah, that sounds like a good unopposed politician to buy those for us. And we'll know who's unopposed come Thursday at 12.
You gotta have judges for all this too.
Yeah. Okay. Got anything else? Ms. Carly?
I don't think so.
My advisor, Mr. McPherson, anything, counselor?
I have, as you know, we have talked with Mr. Ron Green about the possibility of the people at the Kingston First Baptist providing some music for us after they find out what the schedule is too. So we're sort of on hold about that.
Yeah, and Sandy and I met with them, and since we don't know about the governor, I thought ideally the Wednesday deal, if the governor's there for sure, highlighting with the choir and maybe some patriotic music and whatever they wanted to do since they were coming in. It was so close, but then I'd want to, you know, kind of go out and invite everybody else that wanted to come do that too. So, you know, guys, we've got so many things, and I know we just meet monthly. It may be that we, as it gets closer, that we have to meet more frequent than this. So y'all be thinking about that by the next meeting or the meeting after, that we try to get to, because we may have some groups that want to come in and talk to us and say, is this okay or this okay? And if we can go ahead, I don't know how to start advertising what we have so far, because really, only thing we know for sure is that we're having cake and we're having a parade. Everything else is kind of halfway.
But it is there.
It's there.
The framework is there, and just because we have to advertise in broad frameworks, doesn't hurt anything. Coming soon.
Yeah,
You know?
coming. And tune in every week. It's changing. And you know, have y'all got this that Sonny brought around? You know, if you thumb through that, you know, that just gives you some ideas of also the things they've done in the past. And I noticed that they had a quilt back then once before too. I thought we were original, but come find out we're not. You know, they dressed up and they had all kinds of stuff. So if you'll see the committee members, and I've got that on my notes here, I noticed that the committee members even dressed up in their attire. So we need to get with Robert to see what kind of, so we can determine who can dress up based on the sizes.
Well, I got a bunch of support too.
Okay, so, and then what about the ladies, the fork ladies? They're gonna help us with a parade, have you mentioned that to them?
The DAR lady?
Yeah.
I have not. I will.
Okay.
They meet this week. I
Okay.
think they meet this week or next week, whatever it is. I'll get with them.
Okay. And then, I guess we'll let the mayor take care of all of this. For the 23rd, the day, we'll have to start thinking about an itinerary for that and schedule and who speaks first and who pledges allegiance, and so that you can start getting you some people lined up for that. If you have a prayer, if you introduction, and so that we've got the correct pecking order of who speaks first and who's last, and let's go on about our merry way, and we'll go do good things. So, Miss Kelly, anybody have anything else? Again, we're getting out early. I never want this meeting to go over an hour, but it just seems like it flows so good, and we get so much important information in a short period of time. I appreciate, and the city appreciates your service on this committee, And we're looking forward to having a great event so that people 200 years from now can look at all of us and say, this is what they did. Anything else come before the committee? And thank you all out there in internet world for watching us. Meeting's adjourned.
Hey, Sonny, I'll help you and Carly work on stuff about the parade or whatever kind of criteria we want to develop.
me to do something for you. Oh,